Now, you all may be familiar with our guest and his work. He currently wrestles for the New York Wrestling Connection as its heavyweight champion. He can also be seen throwing it down at Pro Wrestling Syndicate out in New Jersey. He was also seen alongside WWE superstar Zack Ryder on the hit YouTube series Z, True Long Island Story. Recently, he participated in the online TNA Gut Check Challenge, where he won in his respected bracket and moved on to the last stage of the tournament, where he ranked 5th. He would make his TNA Impact Wrestling debut back June 20th to take on and defeat former WWE Tough Enough contestant Ryan Howe. Despite being denied a contract the following week, he continues to pursue his wrestling career. And folks, to talk more about that and everything wrestling related, we're very pleased to welcome the Big O, Adam Ohriner. Adam, how you doing tonight, bro?
Good, man. I had a long week between wrestling training and regular workouts and having a different date every single night. I mean, you know, life's pretty taxing, but somebody's got to do it, right?
Yeah, I feel you on that. Hey, at least it's keeping you busy, right?
Sure, man. I mean, it's not easy being the Big O, but somebody's got to do it, right?
Exactly. Now, I got a couple of people that's a little bit curious about you. I know one of the emails I had received, they wanted to know, how did you get into wrestling?
Okay, well, this is probably the most unique, awkward, and unconventional story I might tell you tonight. It's no secret. I'm best friends with WWE superstar Zack Ryder, and I've been good friends with him for about 6 or 7 years now, and I had no intention of ever getting into professional wrestling. You know, it's not something that I wasn't interested in. It was just something I never thought that I would be able to do, and you know, I never really thought and pictured that it would be something I could do long term, career-wise. But about 2.5 years ago, Zack Ryder came to me and asked me if I would help him out with something, and I said, sure, what's up? He's like, you know, my WWE contract's going to expire soon, and I'm not doing so well, and I'm thinking of doing this web project where I want to create like a little like YouTube series where he wanted to do like a sketch comedy show, almost like a Saturday Night Live, Mad TV type deal. And I was like, all right, sure, whatever, man. Like, I'll help you out. What do you need from me? And at first, I was only supposed to help write and edit the show because I went to school and have a degree in journalism and communications. So I'm very good with computers, writing and with editing, web design and with live shows, etc. So I figured he would just want me to kind of do some of the production behind the scenes. And after like 4 or 5 weeks of helping him produce the show, he asked me if I wanted to make a cameo appearance. And I was like, I don't know anything about wrestling. Like, what would you have me do? He's like, you know, just get on a camera and just be all crazy and just tell everybody that if they're going to fight me, they got to get through you first. You're my new muscle and people need to start taking you serious. I was like, sure, whatever, no problem. So I did this little promo for him. And the following week, that video had 300,000 hits on it. And I was like, oh, it's kind of cool. And he asked me to do another. Asked me to do another. And then he asked me to do another. So on and so forth. And after about 5 months of doing these shows, I started getting recognized by people. Like on the mall or Walmart. People would be like, oh, you've got Ryder's friend. You do the YouTube show. I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's me. And then anyway, he finally invited me to go to a live Raw event at the National Coliseum in Long Island. This is June 2011, and it had been the first professional wrestling show I've ever been to my whole life. Never been to a wrestling show. And I go to take my seat, and I'm walking with his father, who also appears in the show with us. And before I could even get down to the aisle where our seats are, there was literally a crowd of 500 people who wanted to get my autograph and take a picture with me, solely based on the fact that I was doing this YouTube show with him. So I was like, wow, like, this is actually kind of exciting. This is cool. Like, you know, after doing the episodes for another 3 months from that moment on, to a few more shows, backstage and met some of the wrestlers, and I was like, you know what, this really might be something that I could want to get into, because, you know, I've always been an athlete, I'm in great shape. I have a very flexible job working in nightclubs, little responsibility, and I have the in. Like, I have the head start because I have connection. So you know what? I was like, give me the number of the wrestling company that you started training at years ago with the New York Wrestling Connection, and I'll go in there once or twice and I'll see what it's all about and see if it's for me or not. And Labor Day 2011, I joined NYWC. 2 weeks later, I was body slamming a 400-pound guy in the main event, and here I am less than 2 years later, having just appeared on national television for TNA Impact. So
that is badass. That is freaking badass. Now, when you look back on your time doing the YouTube series there with Ryder, was it a no-brainer that the series was going to be as popular as it was? Did it take you by surprise? What was your thought process on that?
When we first started doing it, it was very risque because nobody in the business had ever done something like that. You've never done a live shoot, radio talk show, or a fan mail, Q&A interacting with fans, or any wrestler doing some kind of bulletin board that they directly respond to fans to. And this is like the first time that anybody utilized social media and used that as an extension of television and superstars on WWE's internet website to really let people into the world of Zack Ryder to know what kind of person he really is. This kid's got tons of personality, but when you're not featured on television, when you're on television once a month for a 2-minute match, fans don't really know who you are. They don't get to know you. The fans are never going to love you or hate you if they don't know you. So by doing this YouTube show, it was like, it was open game. It was show everybody how funny you are and how wacky you are and how clever you are and how talented you are. And, you know, he challenged the system and he criticized a couple of things that he didn't think would matter because either he would get noticed or he would get fired. You know, he got noticed from it. So we didn't know how far it was going to take us. We didn't know we were going to have 100 episodes. No, we were going to have collective 50 million hits, 100 episodes. They featured some of the clips of the show on Monday Night Raw. They put it all over their website. I got interviewed for WWE Magazine. We never thought in our wildest dreams. He had a flip camera phone in a park in the middle of the winter, and we're filming the show with people running the track looking at us like we got 5 heads. Just got my shirt off doing push-ups in the snow. So
that is crazy. That's crazy, man.
You can never predict the success of something. It was the first of its kind, and it'll be the only of its kind.
Nowadays, it's looking as though we're seeing Zack take a little bit of a backseat to other superstars and storylines on WWE programming. That's got to be a little frustrating and a little heartbreaking for you, since you're his best friend and all, to see him on the sidelines and know what he's capable of.
Yeah, I haven't been in the business that long, but what the business has taught me in the last 2 years is that, you know, a lot of the things that happen behind the scenes of politics, and you always have to be ready because you never know when you're going to get that one opportunity, that one chance, that one phone call, that one booking, that one main event that they decide to replace somebody with you, and what happens. I mean, you just got to take advantage of it. In his situation, he created that moment for himself, which has never really happened before, like, ever. He came over and got noticed. Fans came to him instead of him reaching out to grab fans. He took note of that, and they gave him a little push. He won the United States Championship, and, you know, he got a lot of success from that. And now, kind of sit in the back seat again, you know, I haven't really spoken to him much about it lately because I don't like to bother him, but I can only tell how frustrated he is because he sit here every night, and I bartend in a local bar in my hometown Monday nights, show Monday Night Raw on the TVs, and every Monday I look at that TV for 3 hours waiting for him to come out. More or less in the last 2 months, he hasn't even come out once. So, yeah, it pisses me off a little bit.
I can definitely relate to your frustration. Trust me on that one, as I am exactly the same way when it comes to not seeing him during that whole 3 hours of Raw, and we don't even get to maybe see him make a cameo. I'm definitely with you on that. You know, maybe we can get a new revolution going tonight. Maybe we can get the attention of WWE via Twitter and maybe do some type of a campaign to tell WWE to bring him back on main WWE programming. You know, a couple of my friends, they had told me about you, as I had only heard of your name and I saw a couple of pictures of you, but I wasn't really familiar with your work until, honestly, I saw you in the ring and you threw it down with Ryan Howe. And by the way, that was a freaking good match. I had really enjoyed that. But I've heard some people describe you to me as best as they could. They said that you were like a combination of Randy Orton meets Brock Lesnar meets Dave Bautista. And I couldn't help but just look at all of those combinations and kind of say, yeah, that's absolutely right. But then I also look at you and I say, man, how come you are not in the WWE yet? Because you've got a great freaking look. You've got a great physique. You've got charisma. You know, what's up with that?
Well, first of all, those are 6 shoes that would be very hard to fill. But, it's a great compliment to hear, too. I don't know. I tried out for WWE. I actually did some backstage work for them in June, and I got a really good response from them, and they said they wanted to see me again soon. I don't know how long soon is. It could be any day. It could be a few more months. Maybe they want to see me progress and improve from the first time they saw me to the next time they saw me. But, you know, like, when I started developing, like, my wrestling game, not so much my character and my whole Big O thing, because many people don't know, I've been so Big O since I'm 16 years old. My name is Ohriner. My nickname in high school was the Big O. All my friends used to call me that. And my ego kind of grew as I got bigger and got more confident and started getting noticed by girls more. And with the whole get out of my ozone, and then I tacked on, if you can't handle the heat, get the hell out of my ozone. That's my big tagline. And once I started wrestling, I was trying to see not who I wanted to resemble, but who I wanted to study so I could pitch and mix and match different styles of different wrestling. And what I go for in the ring is I look for the power and the athleticism of what Davey Boy Smith had, the British Bulldog. He was a similar build to me, 6'1", 250, very athletic but powerful. And my intensity, I try to kind of, I don't know, envy Chris Benoit. And I don't know if the crowd out there agrees, disagrees, has an impartial view of him, but Chris Benoit, the wrestler. So, because they were Randy Orton, David Heath, Brock Lesnar, I mean, those guys are all Hall of Famers. But for now, you know, I'm just trying to be me. Tough, powerful, intense, athletic. And when I'm in the ring, all eyes have to be on me. So it's a power move or a backflip on the microphone. I need to utilize all those different aspects in the game so, you know, I can be noticed.
Okay. All right, so that's WWE talk. Let's go on ahead and switch gears a little bit, and let's talk TNA Wrestling. Tell me and the listeners, how did you first hear about TNA Wrestling, and how did you end up participating in the TNA Gut Check online tournament?
A buddy of mine that trains in the New York Wrestling Connection with me in Deer Park, New York, did one of these Gut Check seminars. Basically what the Gut Check seminar is, you pay a small fee, you do a clinic with a TNA agent. When I did mine, it happened to be D.O. Brown. And they run you through a few drills, and then they give you a tryout match. And what happens is, later on, after they run their 16 or however many it was, tryouts, so the fans on the internet vote which person who tried out in each city should get nominated to a television match. And I did a gut check in North Carolina in February, The buddy of mine had won the previous month in Atlanta, Georgia in January. It said, it'll be a great experience, and at the very least, you can have, like, real professionals criticize your wrestling, and they can tell you what you liked and what you should improve on. So I was like, you know what, this is perfect. This could be like a little evaluation for me to find out where I'm at a year and a half into my career. So I flew to North Carolina, I did the gut check, and I waited. And 3.5 months later, the voting took place, won my bracket unanimously, and then I went into the winner's bracket with other people who won their brackets in other cities, and I got a phone call from Al Snow saying he wanted me for a television match. And I packed my bags, and 2 days later, I flew to Peoria, Illinois, and I was ready to get on TV. That's pretty much how it happened. It took me by surprise. I got an email from Al Snow, and he said, "Hey, Adam, can you please give me a call? It's important." And at that moment, like, my heart stopped beating for a second. I was like, oh, here we go. This is it. And I called him, and it turned out to be it. He wanted me for TV, so it was pretty cool.
Now, in your experience with this online tournament, do you feel it was well managed? Was there a line of communication between you and the folks running it each time you advanced? I'm only asking because some of the contacts that I know of that were in this tournament and the last tournament, they have stated that they've had some pretty bad experiences. Of course, we remember what went down with the tournament the first go-round, but what's been your experience overall, and was there always that open line of communication between you and the folks running the tournament?
I think what happened prior was you didn't have to make an account to register and vote, so people were voting multiple times, and you could open a page, click yes, etc. So you were getting people who necessarily weren't fan favorites, but had a few fans who had a lot of time on their hands to just click multiple votes. So to eliminate that, it made everybody register an email and a password, limit like voting fraud. Just give them the impression that, you know, I finished 5th in the voting of the 16 winners. There was 4 people ahead of me and 10 people beneath me. I'm pretty sure every single person in that bracket is going to get a television match. It's just, it takes a little time. There's 16 people, you know. I think I just happened to be lucky, and I was the first from that bracket. But I was told that the other people in that bracket with me were going to get a chance also. So I don't think it was really rigged or scammed. I think they got a whole true to it. It's just, you know, it's one of the businesses where you have to be patient. And, you know, we have a saying in the locker room, hurry up and wait. So that's pretty much what you got to do.
Okay. Were you nervous heading into your match there against Ryan Howe?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, the biggest crowd I've ever worked with has been maybe 1,500 people, and now I'm getting in front of a live crowd of 6,000 plus. And it's going to be taped for television for 5 million people. So I had, wasn't really nervous. I just had like a lot of anxious energy. But as soon as they announced my name and I came out that gate, it was all business for me. Like, I heard the crowd cheering. I saw faces in the crowd, pumping me up. I hit the ring. I hit my first move. You know, they were responding to me, and from that point on, I'm like, all right, here we go. Bio zone, I'm the Big O. I know exactly what I need to do. Let's do it. And I did it.
Was there anybody that you had crossed paths with leading up to that match to kind of maybe help you shake off a little bit of nervousness?
Yeah. A lot of guys in the TNA locker room. They're all nice guys. But a few of them that stood out to me that really pulled me over and gave me some good advice were guys like Chavo Guerrero and Austin Aries, Christopher Daniels, Garrett Bischoff. A lot of those guys, they're like, oh, we know it's your first time. Go out there, do your thing. The reason why they brought you here, do what you know how to do. And, you know, I went in the ring and did my best, and I got the win.
And again, for folks listening, you had ended up facing Ryan Howe for a possible TNA contract. Ryan, who most of you listening may not know or remember, was a contestant on WWE's Tough Enough Season 5. He was eliminated, if I'm not mistaken, in the 5th week. Man, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Coach Bill DeMott, they were so hard on that young man. A lot of us didn't even suspect him to continue to pursue a wrestling career after they got done chewing him up week after week, as here's these two in-ring veterans telling this young man that he has no place being in the ring, being in pro wrestling. I'm curious, what was it like working with him? Do you feel he proved to his credit that the naysayers, everybody that doubted him, that they're all wrong?
I mean, absolutely. That kid's got more guts than most people I've ever worked with in 2 years I've been wrestling. To get criticized on TV and to almost be humiliated, and to come back and to improve yourself, get back on TV again, and then unfortunately to get toned down like I did on television again, and for him to continue this career means there's no limits for him. That's kind of how I am. I'm not going to give it up. I will hang it up when I say I'm going to hang it up, not because a naysayer or one agent or one official says you should give up. No. I give up or I call it quits when I'm ready. And I think Ryan is a lot tougher mentally and physically than most, because I don't know most people that would be able to go through what he went through on that television and to come back and train even harder and then come back on TV again and do it again.
Yeah.
He was a tough kid. I mean, he did put up a fight. I thought I was going to put him away in the first 30 seconds. He hung around for a while. You know, I underestimated him a little bit. But he was a great guy backstage. We both wished each other the best of luck. And I don't know, the way my career has panned out from the get-go, I know by some crazy cosmic coincidence I'm seeing him again somewhere. So, you're listening to me? Good luck and keep doing your thing.
You know, they say hindsight is 20/20. In looking back, do you have mixed emotions about what's going on in the TNA product right now? Because, I mean, left and right, bro, we've been seeing, like, names, big names even, just leaving the company. How does it make you feel? Does it kind of make you feel like maybe it's good for right now that you're not part of the company?
Yeah, I mean, it's both. It can go both ways, because on one hand, I'm thinking, oh, well, they just got rid of, they let a lot of people go. Maybe they're looking for new talent, and then maybe they are going to call me back and give me a deal. Then on the other hand, if they're not even holding on to some of their top-tier talent, there's no way they're going to bring in younger, less experienced people. So, I don't know. I'm a random case of everything happens for a reason. You know, I did the YouTube show with Ryder for a while for a reason, to help him. Then I got my feet. Then I started training. Then I became the NYWC heavyweight champion. Then I became the PWS Texas heavyweight champion. Then months later, I'm making my television debut in less than 2 years. And to most people, that's unheard of. So this is probably meant to be. And I got some good criticism when I was up there. And now I'm back in the wrestling gym 3 days a week, working on all the things that they told me I should work on. So I know when I get that next call, I'm going to blow everybody out of the water. So
that's what's up.
I mean, it's a little frustrating, but I also understand it's a business where, good things do come to those who are very patient, who always work hard, and always willing to do what they're asked. So wrestling taught me to be a little more patient and to hold back just a little bit longer, because when you do hold out, the payoff is worth that much more.
I agree with you 100% on that one. Good comments right there. Hey, let the folks know about any upcoming appearances that you're going to be making, autograph signings, etc. Where can folks catch you?
I'm cool for the New York Wrestling Connection in Deer Park, New York. Our website is nywcwrestling.com. If anybody in the area is interested in joining the school, you can visit the website or just pop in and come check out a training session and see what we're all about. We have a bunch of great trainers. Few WWE superstars are also training now, such as Matt Stryker and Mike Mondo. Tony Nese is our head trainer. He's also a former TNA superstar. I also work for PWS, which is Pro Wrestling Syndicate, which is in New Jersey. However, our venue kind of got destroyed in the hurricane, and it's being repaired. So I don't think we're going to have another show until September. You can always go online at Pro Wrestling Syndicate, oneword.com, and look up the schedule of shows. And anybody who follows me on Twitter or would like to follow me on Twitter, I suggest you do, unless you can't handle the heat. My Twitter handle is at it's the big O. I always post updates on every appearance, every autograph signing, every birthday party show, and every other miscellaneous event that I take part in. And I also post a lot of links to my YouTube for my matches for people who weren't able to come. So if you get the opportunity, go on Twitter, you get some laughs, you'll get some information, and, you know, maybe one day we'll get the fist bump together.
And we want to just take this time right now to thank the Big O, Adam Ohriner, for dropping by to do this interview.